Hey guys, it's Brian. We're back here with the FROSTBITE JL, and today we're going to be adding some extra protection to the Jeep's axles. Let's check it out. Go ahead and open the box up here. It's nice, made in the USA. Well, what we ended up doing is getting a couple diff covers for the axles, and we got these guys from Cavfab. Alright guys, let's go ahead and check out these diff covers. So these are from Cavfab. They are made here in the US. This is going to be the front diff cover. This is going to be for a Dana 30 or the M186 on the JL. And this guy is going to be the rear. This is going to be the Dana 44 or the M220 for the JL. And if you look at these guys are pretty nice. Looks like we got some nice welds on here. We also got a pretty large Allen key here for the fill plug, so we're going to have to purchase one of those. But these are about 3/8 thick at the base. Pretty nice. And then they're going to be about 1/4 inch thick here on the cover. So it should be a pretty heavy duty option. I'm looking forward to getting these on the Jeep. We do need to get some protection on that front diff for sure. So I'm going to paint these up tonight and we'll throw them on the Jeep tomorrow. Alright guys, and real quick, I just wanted to go over what I'm going to be painting these diff covers with. You will want to clean these guys pretty good with some denatured alcohol. Could use some brake clean, but that leaves a residue sometimes. So I did get some Rust-Oleum primer, and then I am going to do it in this hammered silver color. I did this in the past on my Poison Spider diff covers on my JK, and it looked pretty neat. I think it'll look nice with the silver JL. So let's go ahead and we'll get these guys painted, and we'll get them on the Jeep. Alright guys, this is how they turned out. I think they look pretty nice with that hammered silver spray paint. Let them dry for a day or so. Now let's go ahead and get them installed. Okay guys, so once you get ready to do this, what you'll need is you'll need a 3/8 inch ratchet. You'll want to open up your fill hole and make sure that that's not seized before you get started. And then when you get ready to drain it, you'll come under here, pull the drain plug that's here on the new JLs. That's going to be 3/8 as well. We'll get a drain pan under there. Once that's fully drained, we'll go ahead and pull the cover and we'll get the new one on. Alright, and this one's going to have a little magnet on the drain plug. You want to go ahead and rub all that off. There is quite a bit of just fine metal shavings in there. So you want to clean this all off good. We're going to put some more thread tape on here. We'll get that back in once this is fully drained, and then we'll go ahead and pull the cover. Alright guys, so after you pull the drain plug there and let it drain a little bit, you'll want to find that elusive 10mm. We'll go ahead and start cracking off these diff cover bolts. Alright guys, we got the cover off. This is what the inside of the new M186 Dana 30 looks like on the JL. And there is that new rubber seal that they include for the diff covers now on the JLs, so we'll be reusing that. It did retain its position, so let's go ahead and we'll grab the new cover and we'll throw that on. Alright, so you're going to want to come in here and use the new bolts that they provide from Cavfab. These are going to be a 13mm, so they are going to be a little bit larger than what came on the Jeep. They're also going to be a bit longer to accommodate this real thick cover plate here. So let's go ahead and we'll start bolting these all up, and then we'll plug up the bottom and then get her filled. Alright, now that we've got those all cinched up pretty good, what we're going to do is we're going to take our drain plug, the one with the magnet, and we're going to go ahead and put some thread seal tape on there. You want to make sure you use the yellow stuff. This is made for petroleum products, so we'll go ahead and we'll wrap some on that real quick. Just do a layer or so, just so we don't have any leaking at the bottom of that diff. This yellow stuff is really good to have, that way it doesn't degrade from the oil in there and go into your diff. So that's what she'll look like. We'll go ahead and throw that up in the bottom now. Got that good and tight. I believe the factory calls for about 20 to 30 foot-pounds on that and on the fill plug here. So that should be nice and tight. Let's go ahead and we're going to torque up the cover bolts, and then we'll get to filling our diff up. Alright guys, now that we got those all torqued up, we're going to go ahead and fill up our front diff. We're going to be using some Valvoline synthetic. This is going to be 75/90, and this is their nicer fluid that they have. It does have the limited slip additive, which will come in handy in our rear here. So let's go ahead and we'll get her filled. Okay guys, so now that we've got our handy little filler helper here, this is just going to be a little funnel that helps us get that down into the diff. This does screw onto the top, which is pretty nice. If I do find one of these on Amazon, I'll go ahead and put a link down below. So let's go ahead and we'll get her filled. Alright guys, now that we got that filled up to the proper level, we're going to go ahead and take our new fill plug that comes with the new cover. This is quite a large Allen. You will have to go buy a special Allen bit. This one is a 9/16. It's the closest one I could find to fitting in this one. So hopefully it works. It should be fine. So let's go ahead and we'll get this started in. You want to make sure you go ahead and put your thread seal on there as well. Alright, that's going to do it for the front Dana 30 install. Got everything torqued up, got her filled up with oil. I think she turned out pretty nice. So let's go ahead and we'll flip around and we'll do the Dana 44 in the rear. Alright, now we're at the rear Dana 44. As you can tell, the diff cover is quite a bit larger than the Dana 30. That means it's got a lot bigger ring gear. So we're going to go ahead and we'll drain this one. Make sure we get the filler plug off first. We'll pull this cover and we'll go ahead and throw on the new Cavfab one. So on the rear Dana 44, the drain plug is on the driver's side, kind of off to the side. It is a little higher than the bottom of the diff, so there will be some fluid left over. And there was quite a bit of metal on this one. Looks like a little bit more than in the front. This is the first time this has been changed, so hopefully this is just break-in shavings. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we'll take our 10mm again. We'll go ahead and we'll loosen those up a little bit, and then I'll zip them off with the impact and we'll pull that cover. Yeah, it looks pretty good in there. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and throw that new cover on, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Okay guys, so once we go ahead and we'll get that lined up, I did use a couple bolts on each side just so we can keep that seal lined up behind there. You don't want that to get misaligned. You could have leaks, and then it'll also make it hard to line up the rest of these. So now that we got this up here, I'm going to go ahead and throw the rest of the bolts in, and then we'll torque everything up and get her filled up. Alright, now that we got that cover on all cinched up, want to go ahead and take your drain plug. You want to go ahead and put some thread seal on it. We're going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. We're going to torque that down to 25, and then we'll go ahead and torque our cover bolt. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill the rear diff. I'm going to use Valvoline again. We are using the 75-140. Again, this does have the limited slip additive, so it should be good with our rear. We're going to use our handy filler spout again. And the rear is going to take 2 full quarts here. Alright, now that we got her all filled up with our rear diff fluid, we're going to go ahead and put our fill plug back in. You do want to go ahead and put that thread seal on there. This is again going to be that large Allen, and we'll get that torqued, and then we are all done. Alright guys, that's what she's going to look like. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the Cavfab Diff Cover install. We went ahead and put their Dana 31 in the front and the Dana 44 in the rear. I went ahead and used the Valvoline synthetic gear oil. That should be a nice match. Went 75-90 in the front and 75-140 in the rear. We did that because we have the max tow package and the larger tires, and off-roading are harder on the vehicle. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow along, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks guys.